Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. I don't know if it's a beautiful morning or not, to be honest. It's a little warm-ish. I think we're in the storm weather again. But it's always a great morning if you guys are here with us. Give us a thumbs up. Don't be shy. Good to see you. 6051. My young man. How are you today? Where are you from in India? Right now, you're in Dubai? Nice. Originally from India, but you're in Dubai. All right. Amazing 900. Good to see you too. We're in the United States. If you don't know that, if you haven't figured that one out, we are in the US of A. Don't forget a couple thumbs up for us. Man, let's see. Good news is we're not drunk. We don't drink on our YouTube channels. Yeah, this is not a sex live stream. It's not a drunk live stream. It's not a sleeping live stream. It's actually a real live stream where we can have dialogue, conversations. I am an excellent life coach. So there you go. Am I a blogger? No, I'm a vlogger. I don't do any written blogging at all because I hate to write. But I do a lot of video vlogging. Yes, we have a YouTube channel just full, and an Instagram channel too, but full of videos and commentary, advice for immigration to dating to cooking to traveling, because we do a lot of that. We have a lot of educational stuff. You name it, we have it. We vlog just random stuff whenever we kind of feel like it. Thank you all for the thumbs up, though. Excellent. But yeah, we don't specialize in sex channel. We're not a drunken live streamer. We're not going to argue and fight with you. We respect everybody's opinions. We love to have constructive thought discussions. And like I said, I'm an expert in everything. We do have a dog. My dog Lily's out here with me. I enjoy coming out in the mornings and sitting in the breeze. I am looking at my yard. It got mowed yesterday and they tore the shit out of it. It looks crappy. They should have waited, but I know it needed it, but it's pretty rough. My friend 6051, I'm in America, the United States of America. I will go on to say it is the greatest country in the world, and let me tell you why. Because I'm an American citizen, and I think everybody who's a citizen of any country should think that about their own country. So if you're from India, you should think India is the greatest country in the world. If you're from Ireland, you should think Ireland's the greatest country in the world. Doesn't matter what country you're from. Korea, Philippines. You should always have great national pride. That doesn't mean you can't find flaw in the country that is your home, but you shouldn't give up on your country either. One of my big things. You should be very proud of where you're from. Sure. I think that's an interesting question. I get a lot of questions like, hey, do you like Indian people? Do you like people from Pakistan? Do you like Korean people? Do you like, well, I guess, and I do, but my question is, why would I not? So I find that question always very interesting and a big picture thing. Why do you think I wouldn't like you? So it's kind of like almost starting off the day, the world, a point of view with a negative, right? Oh, I wonder if he likes Indian people. What you should do is assume that I don't have any hatred or dislike for anybody, right? And just, yeah, he likes everybody. He's on the internet. He's here. So, are there bad Indian people? Yes. Are there bad Americans? Absolutely. But I don't like lumping an entire population with a, I don't like to paint an entire population with a great big brush saying everybody from a country is bad. Let's see. Windy Glitch. Glitch, good to see you. The guy seems very chill. I am chill. I'm pretty relaxed. I've lived 4 million years. I've been there, done that. So things don't really get me bent out of shape. I pride myself in being able to talk logically and calmly about situations. I think when we can take a step back and go, wait a minute, let me think about what I'm going to say and what it really means, then our words carry more weight versus just being some idiot on the internet running your mouth. Now, maybe I'm that idiot who runs his mouth. I don't know. So, no, I haven't visited India, but it's definitely a place I'd like to go. I'd like to go to India. I know you don't like Pakistan, probably, but I'd like to go to Pakistan. I got a good friend from Pakistan. India's on the list. I mean, it's in the top 20 without question. We have been to, of course, Philippines, Korea, America, Mexico, the Bahamas, Aruba, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Curacao, Honduras, Belize, and probably one or two other places I can't remember. Uh, the glitch says, "Yep, that's so peak, man. I try to do the same thing. People need to try and do." I agree. I agree. See, we're great people, man. You know why we're great? Because we have like minds. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel, by the way, if you haven't done it. Uh, I know that my style of YouTubing isn't the most popular. You know, the most popular things are to show your boobs and or to hate on people, right? Or to do stupid pranks on people. And I don't do those three things. So we may be a little slower growing as a channel than potentially we could, but we do like to try to be organic. We don't we wouldn't want anybody to give us a bunch of ninjas. We don't want that. We don't want fake accounts. We would prefer you guys join our community, you know, meaning just coming back and supporting us, watching the videos, and liking, subscribing, and sharing. That's all you really got to do. I do get a lot of questions that I answer, and I get a lot of private messages that I always answer. I always answer every comment because I think that's important. Effective communication and respect. If you give me the time to leave a comment on a video that we made, and we got a lot of videos, a lot of videos, I feel like it's my duty, since you took the time out of your day to do that, for me to respond to your comment. I think that's important. And I'm having yogurt raisins for breakfast, if you didn't know. Probiotic, mixed berry, oh, mixed berries. They're not raisins, they're berries. Tasting like raisins. Yogurt nuggets. You want to see the dog? All right, she's laying in front of me, so I'll show you. We got a lot of dog videos too, but I'll show you. That's Lily, the wiener dog. She's our dash hound. He's a good dog. Well, to be honest, I thought these were yogurt raisins, but they're not. See, I thought they were raisins, but they're mixed berry. You probably can't tell, but it says mixed berries. But all these times I've been eating them, I've been thinking they were raisins. They're a good source of fiber, no artificial flavors and or colorings. The question is, what kind of berries are they? Because apparently I can't tell. Oh, they're a mixture, I see. All right. So they took basically apple, um, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, elderberry, stuff like that, and made a little ball out of it. Thank you for the dog love. We love our dog. Thank you for giving a thumbs up and appreciating our dog. And those are good. I think we sell those to where I work. Nice. What kind of work are you into? I'm retired. I taught college for 25 years and was a private consultant in regards to government regulations when it comes to safety and health. But now I'm old. I'm retired. I'm still good looking. Well, I got to admit, I just got done making a video that comes out later tonight on a premiere. It's basically my new introduction to the channel video. And I went back and looked at a lot of videos from 13 years ago and so on when my wife and I met. And as we journeyed, and I got to admit, I got old. Man, I got old in 13 years. I don't know how I did that, but I got old. Just two, my wife and I. Just two. My wife and I and my dog Lily. We had another dog, Daisy, but she passed away last year. She was another wiener dog, a black and tan. So just two of us. We do have some friends, but not very many. We don't have a big extended family. We don't have that. Ah, you work at a old timey. That's cool, man. General stores. I like general stores. You know, there's not many of them around except for like in tourist areas. And we have, I don't know, the only one I can think of close to me is like in Branson, Missouri. So you're in college. Great. Outstanding. Outstanding. Now, what are you studying? I taught college for 25 years. What do you want to be when you grow up, so to speak? Which I still haven't figured out. I have no clue what I want to be. So I'm still trying to figure that one out. You're studying bioworks? You mean like biomechanics? What's bioworks? Not familiar with that term. Like, talking about like physiology, mechanical. Are you hoping just to get a bachelor's degree, a 2-year degree, a master's, a doctorate? Well, the key is to study and to understand your subject matter. I mean, public speaking is important. I think you got to get comfortable with public speaking. Medicine stuff, okay. So you're working on an associate's degree, 2-year degree, outstanding. And it's a transferable degree, not a terminal degree. Good deal. Well, I think that's a great field because there's always going to be a need for medical professionals, right? Whether it's an X-ray technician, somebody, a phlebotomist, somebody who draws the blood, physical therapist, people, I don't know, man, everything. Medicine's not going away. That's the one sure thing. And I know assistants, PAs, are the new hot trend in America. Yeah, sometimes they pay really good. The bigger issue is I don't know if they pay really good, to be honest, but I guess it's your definition of paying good. I think you can have a good, stable income with a good retirement if you plan for it. What you have to weigh this against is going into debt. So if you make $100,000 a year and you're $200,000 in debt for your education, boy, that's maybe not a really good return on your investment, right? So I told students, and I tell students, and I tell people on here every day, do your best to stay out of financial debt going to college. Don't borrow money. Don't do it. I know they make it really easy to borrow money for student loans. Try your best not to do that. If you have to, take the bare minimum. Don't take extra just because you can. And that's one thing that the educational society does. They push student loans on people, big student loans, to get you into debt. Don't fall for it. You got a college promise, so they're paying for both years of my education. Wow, congratulations on that. That's good. Well, do you feel like since somebody is paying for your way, you got a promise, do you feel the pressure to do well? Do you go like, now look, I got to live up to these people. Somebody, gave me whatever to go to college, so I need to do very well. Or do you think it would be more pressure for you um, if you were paying for it yourself? So, what I've learned over the years is students who borrow boatloads of money to go to school, they don't have that urgency, that desire, a lot of times, that pressure to do extremely well in school because they really aren't paying for it. It's deferred money. Thank you very much. Oh, absolutely. Ah, all right. So 2.0, easy. You can do that with your eyes closed. Want a nut, Lily? All right. I'll tell you a secret on how to get good grades. A lot of people don't realize this. I'm going to give you a couple secrets. One, very important thing, show up. Show up to class. Okay? Simply put, go to class. A lot of students start missing classes and they don't realize. Hang on. All right. I'll explain to you the mentality. Go to class because as a teacher, the students that are in my class every day are going to get the benefit of the doubt. So if they struggle here or do this or do that, or they have to miss one time, but they've been there all the other times, I'm going to give them the benefit of that. The student that just kind of comes in and wings it and pops in here and there, blah, 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 I'm not going to cut you any slack. I'm not going to go my extra mile to help you because you're not putting in the time. If I got to put in the time, you need to put in the time. That's how we think. All right? Giving my dog some nuts. Don't ever give dogs raisins, by the way. Raisins have a toxin in it that is toxic to dogs. So, attend class. Secondly, do your work. We don't even necessarily care if it's perfect. We just want you to do the work. Show that you are participating in the process. Okay? Tip about taking tests. Very simply, I want you to understand this. When you take a test, usually there are answers to the questions within the body of the text. So let's say you get to question number 3 and it says something about, cell structure. It's looking for the cell wall, talking about the cell wall. You may go down in the test and find the reverse question asked differently, but it's the same question. So it's what is the cell wall? And what's your answer? And it says, and then your next question may explain to you what the cell wall is and say, can't, and then it may go on to ask you something additional. So a lot of times you can find information to answer questions in the questions of a test. Pretty simple. Those are the 3 secrets to making good grades. That's it. All right. My dog loves nuts. We feed her homemade dog food, meaning I boil turkeys. I boil them, debone them, chop them up. I add crushed pumpkin seeds into her food along with carrots, chopped up really fine carrots. So, and sometimes other vegetables if I got them. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Well, good. Well, I hope it helps. It helps it out. It helps. That's just the my experience as a college student and as somebody who taught college. Because you got to remember, every walk of life, everything you do in life is about impression and accountability. It just is. I don't know if you know, I'm rereading a bunch of books because I like to read. But I read these back in the 90s when I was a young educator, a young business person. There's a book out there called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. He has a whole little series. I'm rereading these in hopes of building my YouTube channel better. I'm going to try to, because, it's been many years. I know a lot of the principles, but I'm going to reread and see if I can go, oh, I should do this better on my YouTube channel. I'm going to try to adopt his business models from the 90s and the 2000s to YouTube. And I already do that quite a bit just because I've studied so much over the years on how to try to be somewhat professional. And I believe accountability is very important. I'm a big person believing in accountability. Save that nut for my dog when she comes back from barking at the neighbors. Mm. Oh, that's good. My nuts don't expire until next year. Good, your boy is back. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Sorry I was chewing. And it's never polite to speak while you're eating food, while you're chewing. So, and try to keep your mouth closed when you chew. You chew. Simple, polite rules, you know. But it's good to see you. Thank you. Did you give me a thumbs up? It's your boy. What are you doing today? How's your day going? What's on your agenda? Do you have any plans for today? It's Friday here. Let's see. I'll probably do another live stream late tonight. I got some reading I'm going to do. I got a video I'm working on to get out. Probably do the dishes. Got to cook my wife breakfast here in a couple of hours. I need to work on my rose bushes, but we're also expecting storms all day. So, how to enjoy your life and have a job. I don't know. That sounds like an oxymoron, man. How to enjoy life and your job, you know? Can you have a job and enjoy your life? Now, there's some psychology behind this. Oops. What you don't want to do is you don't want to live to work. You don't want to do that. Moments with Kenisha. Keisha, how are ya? How are ya? Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate your support. We do. I do. Everybody said hello to each other, by the way. If you guys have YouTube channels, let us know. You know, let me know. If you do, I can turn you blue and you can drop your link. Because anytime anybody's blue on my channel, they never have to ask to drop a link. Just chat a few more times and let me know. And we can see if you have a channel and if you want to drop. But here's the logic in life. You're doing well. Great moments. Great, great. We should abbreviate you as MWK. MWK is in the house. Is in the house. You should never live to work, right? Never do that. If you're in a situation where you're living to go to work, you're in the wrong situation. You should work so that you can live, right? Meaning the money you make, things that you do should be your motivation to enjoy your life, to have a family, friends, travel, to do your things. That should be your motivation, not your job. Your job is going to give you the money so that you can go do the other things to enjoy your life. Because there's never been a soul in the world who says, man, I sure do regret enjoying my life so much. MWK likes that. Thank you. Good, good, good. 651's back. Come and visit India. Yeah, well, just my wife and I, but yeah, absolutely. I love the food. I love to see the historical sites. Yeah, I'm into India and Pakistan and you name it. Look, if we were rich people, I'd be happy to hit every country you could. I love new places, new things, new people, new foods, new experiences. I do try really hard that when we go to a new country to understand how I should behave in that country. So I try to be respectful of the countries that I travel to. So study up. My advice is study up if you're going to go to a country, so that when you get there, you don't make yourself look like a fool. Very important, I think, because you got to remember one of the things. My dog's excited. Somebody's walking the neighborhood. Let me show you my doggie. She's outside barking. There she is. See, that's my wiener dog. She has a crippled leg. Lily! See, that's Lily the wiener dog. She's a little chunky. And that's her outdoor bed. Sorry, just thought you might like to see my doggie. I'll do that. It's right now. This year we're going to on a cruise, another cruise out of America. We're going to be going to like Jamaica and the Cayman Islands and places. So that's our big trip for this year. Next year, we have to decide what we're doing. We really need to go back to the Philippines and take care of some business in the Philippines because we lived there, we've been there, we've done that. But we need to go back and take care of some business. Now, we don't want to, like, when we travel, like to that part of the world, we usually take a month. Our plan in 27, if we make the Philippine trip, is we're only going to be in the Philippines for about 2 weeks or 10 to 12 days. And then we're going to jump over to Singapore, where we have friends who are going to take us in, and we're going to hang out in Singapore for another 10, 12 days, and then head home from Singapore. So that's kind of the Philippine trip. Now, we also have a great itch to go on a European cruise, like to Iceland, Greenland, I don't know, Norway, Germany, somewhere in there, all those kind of northern Europe countries. And then there's another great cruise that we're looking at that goes like to Spain and Italy and France, that part of Europe. So those are the things that we're trying to do first before we pick our next destination. But India's on the bucket list. I told you it's in the top 20. The big key is money, and that's for you as well as me, everybody. Even though we live in America, we're not rich by far. I know most people believe that Americans are rich. We are not. And I'll tell you to be honestly, and I tell people this because I'm a very open, honest person, and I want to encourage you guys. The only reason my big, gigantic motivation, besides having an educational platform where we can grow a community of like minded people, is to earn money to buy my wife a house, my Filipina wife a house. Because I want to make sure that when I pass away, which I know is coming, I know it is. So when I die, that she doesn't have to worry about having a place to live in America. Because living in America is expensive. Houses are expensive. So that's my primary goal. Earn by YouTube and Instagram, which we don't make anything off of, hardly anything, enough money to cover a house so that when I pass away, my wife, even though she has a job and she loves to work, would not have to worry about where she's going to live. So that's my big goal. And traveling is part of it. We're going to do some traveling tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to take a little local road trip and go see there's a couple sites. We're really big on searching for weird and strange oddities in our world. So, we love the state of Florida. We're going to hopefully live there next year. We love Alabama, but currently we're going to go see some oddities, what they call oddities, just unique roadside attractions. We're probably going to go pick a couple up, maybe two or three tomorrow. Um, just go check them out and see what they're all about. There won't be anything massive about it, but it's still kind of a fun thing to take a road trip and stop by and see a big giant blue whale in the middle of Oklahoma. Let's see. 541 says, you're in the Philippines. No, we're in the United States. Luckily, you could actually find a real woman. I can help you with that, and I don't mean setting you up with women, but I can tell you how to find a good Filipina if you want. I mean, I'm happy to do it. I got a lot of videos on it. We have a lot of open live streams and discussions about this. It's not as hard as you think. There are some things that you have to be willing to do. There are single Filipinas in America. Like I got a friend that lives out in California, out in San Francisco area. There's a large population there, and he runs into them quite a bit. But my point, 541, is I'm in America. I met my wife while I was living in America, and we were introduced by. I've been around in my part of the world. I've been around the Filipino community since I was 18. So I got a friend. I was married to a Filipino young guy. We were buddies. So I've known a lot of Filipinos over the years, and I never really wanted to date one. I was happy just being me. But at some point in time, I mean, they always ask me, "Hey, I got a niece, I got a cousin." I'm like, whatever. But one particular time, about 13 years ago, somebody said, would you friend my niece on Facebook? And I'm like, all right. Well, I did. And then 6 months later, I was in the Philippines. Because you got to visit them in person somewhere on the planet Earth. Doesn't got to be in the Philippines. It can be anywhere on the planet Earth. And I got some cheats for that, how you can do that easily. So, 541, if you got questions about that, let me know. I mean, if you're interested, tell me what you're looking for, what you're thinking, and I'll see if I can steer you in the right direction. A lot that can be done. A lot easier than you think. You just got to be things you have to do, but it's not hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it, right? So, but we have lived in the Philippines, but now we're back in America, which is much better for all of us. It's better for my mental health to be in America because I found the Philippines extremely boring. So, extremely boring. All right, let's see. We're going to reread this little book I read in the 90s called How to Enjoy Life and Your Job, which I think is kind of funny. The key is you got to realize there's not a lot, out of this whole book, there's probably 20 or 25 little nuggets that you're going to pick up on. That's all you really need. You need to know. Chapter number 1 talks about find yourself and be yourself. Remember, there's no one else on earth like you. Do you guys agree with that? I think that's something that we miss totally. We miss the fact that we are all very unique, and that's okay. The bigger part about that is we have to be willing to accept the uniqueness of others. We want to be accepted for who we are, so we have to accept others for who they are. Very important, or you're not going to be happy. You can't find happiness if you're not willing to accept somebody. If you're looking for a Filipina, your Filipina is going to have flaws. You're going to have quirks. You're going to have issues. You have to be willing to accept it. Now, I understand that you don't have to, but then you have to move on to another girl. So I understand why a lot of Americans don't date American women because American women, frankly, are not very nice people. And so why would we want to marry them, right? I get that. So we don't have to, but the one that we're going to choose to be with, we have to accept them. their quirkiness, their individuality, because that's who they are. And it's the same with us. Internally, we have to accept ourselves for who we are. Don't worry about changing yourself all the time. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself education wise, learning how to be calm and cool and collected, taking the temperature down, calming yourself, realizing that not everything is a mountain, or not every molehill is a mountain, right? That you don't got to fight every battle. Sometimes, you can just relax, let the situation calm down and come back to it and solve the problem. We all get heated very easily. A happy person is the one that learns how to back out of that situation, how to calm themselves, and then how to go forward from there. Just something to keep in mind. There is everything I should have. Listen, when I grew up, I married a man who was several years my senior, but I didn't change. My in-laws were poised and self-confident family. I think it's great to have self-confidence. They were everything I should have been, but simply I was not. I tried my best to like them, but I couldn't. Every attempt made to draw me out of myself only drove me further into my shell. It got so bad that even the sound of the dreaded doorbell, right? I was a failure. I knew it. And I was afraid of my husband would find out. So whenever we were in public, I tried to be gay and overact my part. Gay means happy in this context. I knew I overacted. They were overacting to try to compensate for not being competent with themselves. Now, a lot of people do that. You see a lot of people being theatrical. Oh my God. It's because all over the internet. This is all over the internet. And that's because they're not confident in who they are. So they got to put on a over exaggerated face so everybody thinks that they're competent or they're competent and confident. Then this young person says, I would be miserable for days after because I know I made a fool of myself. I became so unhappy that I could see no point in prolonging my existence and thinking about suicide. That's horrible. What happened to change this unhappy woman's life? Just a chance remark. Words, you never know what word you are going to speak to somebody or what word you're going to hear from somebody that's going to change your life. You never know what action you're going to witness that's going to change your life. You don't know what action you do that's going to change somebody's life. All right? A chance remark transformed my entire life. My mother in law was talking one day of how she brought her children up, and she said, no matter what happened, I always insisted on their being themselves. And I like that. Ooh, got a beautiful red-winged blackbird out there. Smart people will accept you for who you are. Good people will accept you for who you are. A brilliant person will embrace the quirkiness of who you are. And that can be either me or you. It could be either I could be brilliant for accepting and using my quirkiness to my benefit, or you could be that way by using my quirkiness to your benefit, right? So that's what we should do. And that's part of accepting. And we should encourage. I try to always, when I was teaching and supervising people, managing people, doing project management stuff, all kinds of things, it was always important to me that everybody be who they really were. I didn't need theatrics. I need honesty and who you were. If you can do something, okay, great. There's no shame in saying, I don't know how to do that. I've never done that before, but I can learn, right? You teach me and I will figure it out and go. No shame in any of that. So don't feel so challenged or threatened that you got to stop and go, wait a minute. I'm going to kind of bluff my way out of this. I'm going to overreact and say, yeah. I understand how to do that. Insisted on people being themselves. That remark changed my life. I changed them and I started being myself. I tried to make a study of my own personality. All right. I tried to find out what I was. I studied my strong points. I learned all I could about colors and styles and dressed in the way that I felt becoming to me. I agree totally. And I'm going to tell you something right here. Here's one of the most important things that I teach and I tell people. There's two things about how you dress, two very important things how you dress. If you're in the work environment, you want to dress for the job that you want to have, not the job you have to have or that you have. Now, if you have to wear safety protection clothes, that's one thing. But when you get the chance, you need to elevate your game and go, look, if I want to be management, then I need to dress and act like I'm management. Otherwise, why would they consider me management? I don't dress the part. I don't talk the part. I'm not embracing the part. Why would they see me in that part, right? Very important. You dress for the job that you want in order to get that job, not the job that you have. Okay, just understand that. You get the opportunity to dress up a little bit and be professional, you do it. You grab it. You grab the bulls by the horns. Okay. Another very important thing is, and this is my philosophy, if you look at my channel, you'll see that I wear tropical shirts and tropical hats and watches all the time. That's what I do. I dress as a retired guy for the way that I want to feel, not the way that I do feel. I have a lot of health issues. I struggle in misery a lot of times, but I don't want to do that. I want to envision being on a beach, enjoying the warm weather of the saltwater air. So no matter where I'm at, I like that. I like light clothes, breezy. I want to feel airy. I want to feel happy with the sun and the beach and the beauty of the animals and the water. I dress every day like I want to feel, not the way I do feel. Tip from me to you. Tip from me to you. Let's see here. So once you start embracing yourself for who you are, right, that's what you're going to do. Once you start accepting who you are, you'll start gaining courage in yourself. If you become comfortable in your own skin, then you become more encouraged, more confident, right? More inspired, right? And that's what we want you to do. Always be yourself. That's how you be happy. Now, when you're in a job situation, you got to be yourself, but you also got to understand the role that you're taking. And here's a problem we have in society today. A lot of people get upset on the internet. We see this. Oh my God, they won't hire me. That company wouldn't hire me because I have face tattoos and 25 piercings on my nose, and and whatever. I won't conform and fix my hair differently because I like my hair being 2 feet in spikes, and they won't hire me because I won't put my hair in a hairnet. Whatever it may be. That is not smart. That's not helping you. That's not accepting you for who you are. That's grandstanding, right? That's overacting when you show up to a business environment. And business environments have gotten really relaxed over the years. But when you show up for a business environment looking like you're a street kid, and you're not willing to blend into that environment, then why would they hire you? Because businesses, organizations, military, fire departments, police departments, everybody that hires people, they have their own agenda. They have their own business. They have their own end game. They have their own goals. And if you can't assimilate into a business's goals, then you're no good to the business or the military or anything, right? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're no good to it. So why would they hire you? That doesn't mean you got to give up your individuality when you're not from work. Remember, we are going to be working so that we can live, not live to work. So a lot of companies now kind of let you stretch what I would consider professional boundaries years ago, when I grew up. Nose rings is not a big deal anymore. Piercings is not a big deal anymore. It's about going over the top because you are going to be representing not only yourself, is what we have to understand. Not only do you represent yourself, you represent the company that hired you. Now, since they're paying you, here's my philosophy. Since they're paying you, they get priority on how you represent. And a lot of these people out here on the internet now that I see bitching and complaining that they can't get jobs because of the way they look, they don't understand. The company, because they're giving you money to do a task, has priority on that. When you go home, you're out in public, private, doing your own thing, then you have priority on how you dress and think and talk. But if you come to work for a company, since they're giving you money, they're saying, I want you to do task A, B, and C, and for that, I'm going to give you $100. They get to drive the boat on how that is done, how that's accomplished. And when you take somebody's money, you are agreeing to do that. So to get mad because now, or the company says, but wait a minute, before we do this, before we get started, here's the rules about our dress code. Oh, no, so just keep that in mind. Do you want money or not? Remember, we need money to live. We need money to live our lives, all right? So just keep that one in mind. Oh, my goodness gracious. I get off track sometimes. Let's see here. So a lot of people believe that it's important to find themselves. Wow. So a renowned Williams James was speaking of people who never found themselves when he declared that people who do not find out who they are, that they only develop roughly 10% of his or her talent or latent mental abilities. So when you don't embrace who you are, is what they're saying, when you don't accept who you are, you're limiting yourself and the heights that you can personally reach. Now you got to remember, it's not always about the job. So yes, maybe you want to climb the ladder, maybe you don't. But if you learn yourself, if you understand yourself, you embrace yourself, you can open your mind up to making your individual self even better. You can do better in your own world. Now, that may translate into money, which is great, but if you're not worried about that side of things, you're happy in your niche over here financially, there's still nothing wrong with embracing who you are, figuring out who you are, and developing your mental acuity so that you individually can be happier. Because look, money's great, making good money is great, but being happy in life is more important than money. I'm going to tell you. We all need it. I need it. I need it horribly bad. But I've taught and teached repeatedly what the goal should be from work and life is you work a career or a job that allows you to be happy because your personal happiness outweighs the misery of a workforce. If you get lucky and find a career that, like, if you're going to go into nursing and you just love being a nurse, fantastic. You hit the lottery. Because then you got a job that you love. You got a career that you love that's paying decent money. So you can go out here and develop yourself personally. And I know a lot of nurses because they came through the nursing programs at the college. So now you can develop your mental acuity, your mental side, learn who you are. And outside of nursing, you're going to have the best life ever. That's what you have to do. I got a friend, a longtime friend, who had a lot of unhappiness. Let's say it this way: unhappiness in herself. Good person. I mean, salt of the earth type of person. But she came across so miserable. Nobody wanted to be around her because she came across so miserably, right? And it took her a long time, but she's happy as she's ever been because she learned and studied and figured out that's what she was doing, even without knowing it. Without knowing it, she was exposing dread and misery just by the way she walked and talked and behaved. So she retrained herself to embrace smiling, raising her head up and waving at people. Over the years, it took time. But she's the happiest she's ever been, and she's enjoying her retirement life like nobody's business. She's grown tremendously psychologically. It's helped her health. She's gotten healthier. She's traveling. She's got a great guy in her life. She's having the time of her life at 60 something years old. 40, absolutely miserable. Dread, 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 dread. So you can improve yourself. And don't do it for me. Don't do it for, Joe Blow or your cousin Nellie or your grandma. Do it for yourself. Because you got to ask yourself, who's truly going to benefit from this? You. You. We individually have to do things that benefit us. Now, if benefiting others is a byproduct of taking care of ourselves, that's great. And that's what it should be. If we want better for others in our world, we have to do better. When we do better, when we are better, right, then the byproduct of that is people around us are better. And I teach this all the time. This is one of my favorite things to teach to people. Positive equals positive. Negative equals negative. If you have negative thoughts and feelings, you're going to, in return, have negative things happen to you. If you're around bad people, bad things are going to happen to you. Remember that old saying that Grandma used to tell us? Remember, nothing good happens after midnight, because the bad people are out after midnight, right? When you're around bad people, bad things happen. When you're around good people, good things happen. Now, you may ask, and so this is very important. And actions, feelings, everything. Good equals good, bad, negative equals negative. Just understand that. Good, bad, whatever it may be. It all has an equal, the other side of the equation. Here's something else I'll tell you that I've learned over the many thousands of years I've been alive. Is that if you go around, even if you're a negative person, which I'm probably one of them, I don't know what I am, but, and I'm old now, so it doesn't really matter. But if you go around, if you're negative, and this is what my friend did, she recognized, hey, people see me as negative, so maybe I am negative. So, meaning I'm not happy with myself, I'm not accepting me. So, and I think I told her this, not that I take credit for it, but she started going around people that were more positive and had a better outlook on life. Once you get around, better, you become better. Positive equals positive. So you can be a negative and go into a positive situation. As long as you're open-minded and willing to embrace the positivity, you will become positive. You will become part of that collective of being happier and positive. Very important to do. Real easy to do, by the way. All you have to do is stop doing the negative stuff. Pretty simple. Move to positive. If you watch a lot of channels on YouTube that pisses you off, well, quit watching them. That's stupid, right? Watch the ones that kind of make you happy. Come on. Just do that, all right? Thank you, everybody, for the thumbs up in the background there. Let's see what else. We want to develop ourselves. We want to develop our minds. We want to figure out what our desires are. Do you have desires? Now, one thing I've learned over the years is a lot of people sometimes don't have a desire, which is interesting to me. I don't have many left because I've been there, done that. I have a couple desires, a couple goals, but I think everybody should have goals, right? We got to have something to look forward to, something to work on. Most humans need a project, so to speak. Well, my goal is to knit a pair of socks. Great. There you go. It might be a micro goal, but it's a goal. My goal is to build 27 houses in the desert. Well, that's a big goal, but at least it's a goal. And that gives you something to work on. It gives you, because humans need to be invested. We need to be invested not only in our other lives, but in life in general. So you got to remember that, all right? If you guys have any thoughts, just chime in. If I'm wrong, let me know. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. I'm not, because I'm always right, but no, you get it. Chapter 2 talks about 4 good working habits that will help prevent fatigue and worry. Wow. Wow. Habits when you're working that will prevent fatigue and worry. Wow. You know, as an old safety guy, an OSHA guy type person, a safety and health expert, I look at the word fatigue and go, well, a lot of that's ergonomics, but I'm sure that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about psychology versus physiology. All right. And worry, stress. And one thing I tell people, why are you stressing at your job? Now, I understand at times at your job that you're going to be stressed. Maybe you're running a cash register and you got 20 people lined up and they're all going, hurry up. Get it. It's a stressful moment. But understand this, it's a moment in time, period. It's not the big picture in reality. It's a moment in time. So once the moment passes, you have to let it go. But let's see what our little book says here. Yeah, let's see. Well, I think what they're going to talk about is efficiency. And I think efficiency is very important in the work environment. Now, there's a school of thought that says the people that have a clean desk, a very organized desk, are way more efficient. Then there's also the other school of thought that the people that are kind of messy are more creative, right? I kind of blend through the both. My desk is a messy organization, so maybe I'm both. I don't know. Here at the house, always has been. Always has been. I'm very organized, but I'm very messy. My piles look like crap. So, are you efficient at your job? Because I do believe efficiency reduces your stress and worry. We know and I teach this in some of my videos talking about different projects that we do. Look, even the remodeling that we did of the water leak through the insurance company, I try to get my project manager to become efficient. Didn't happen. But efficiency, line people up, understand what's going on. So the question is, how do you become efficient? Complete projects is like I said earlier in this live stream. One of the things I do out of respect to you is if you leave a comment on my YouTube channel on any of my videos, I get back to you. I consider that being efficient, effective, and respectful. Respect goes a long ways in becoming efficient in the workplace. Order is heaven's first law. Order ought to be the first law of business too. But is it? No, it is not. The average desk is cluttered up with papers that haven't been looked at for weeks. Agreed. If you haven't been looked at for weeks, then you need to pass it on. How are you from Hong Kong, young lady? Thank you for coming in. Good to see you. Loved your live streams. You're doing great with your live streams and your channel. Thank you for being here. maybe I'll turn you blue while you're sitting here. That way, if you ever want to drop your links or anything, you can. I have a rule that anybody who's blue is welcome to drop their link anytime they come to any of the stuff without asking permission. So you don't have to ask. You can just drop. If you're blue, just feel free to do your thing. No need to ask. So for some people, a cluttered desk is stress. For some people, it doesn't bother us, you know. If it's not my mess, okay, let me back up a tiny bit. If it's my desk and it's messy, then I'm okay with it. But I don't want your desk to be messy. If you're one of my coworkers or one of my subordinates, you know, if you're one of my managers under me, I want you to be better organized than I am. So, uh, all right, let's get caught up here. The mirror side of a desk littered with unanswered mail and reports and memos is enough to breed confusion, tension, and worries. It's much worse than that. Constant reminder of a million things you have to do. Now, I do agree with that. And I do like the philosophy that every day that you come into work, and YouTube's a work. I consider this a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of freaking work. I'm just trying to make enough money to buy my Filipina wife a house. So I take it seriously. I work my butt off in effort to do that. I'm not even close to doing it, but that's my goal. So I consider this work. And I would agree with them that a messy desk is a reminder of all the things that I got to do. And on my desk, I do got a pile of everything that needs to be shredded, but my shredder's full. So I haven't got around to emptying my shredder yet. And I got another stack of things I need to do. And then I got a notebook. But what I do to keep organized, I believe this is a organizational strength for myself. I have a notebook. I have tons of notebooks. Been doing this for, I don't know, since I was 20 years old, for many thousands of years. I use spiral notebooks or whatever I got to do, and I make notes every day of things. So if I take a phone call, I make a note of it, write it down, who it was, what was the answer, what was the response. If I call somebody, I do the same. You know, I know called, you know, Taco Bell, 1:30 a.m. on a Friday, whatever it may be, is what I do. What happened? No answer, called, left a message, whatever it is. So, all right. See, now you're pretty blue. Not only pretty, but now you're blue and pretty. See, you got a double whammy going on. When I'm doing the YouTube stuff, and if ideal comes up to me, a thought happens, somebody asks me a question, and I don't have the immediate answer, I write it down. So I can go back and reference it. You know, I think of all the times I thought of something this morning that I want to make a video on, and I forgot it already. I'll think of it again, but damn, I'm like, crap, I didn't have my notepad in front of me. So when ideals and thoughts come up, I make notes, and I literally have notebooks like you can't believe. I've asked thousands of questions over the years on YouTube of men what they think about the Philippines and Philippine women. We've talked about travel and immigration. I've written a lot of their answers down to those different questions. So it's kind of like my own research project. I can go back and say, well, you know, I talked to 30 different people who all kind of said the same thing. And the law of averages is what the most people are saying is usually what's going to work the best. I keep a notepad. Let's see what else we got in here talking about. And this is part of it, is do you feel like you're obligated to get things done? Now, as a retired guy, I don't feel so obligated to do things tomorrow, today. I feel like I've earned uh, the ability to go, well, I'm going to slack off today. I need to work on a video. There's a video that I need to be working on, and I am going to work on it today. I was going to get up this morning and do it, but I decided to come talk to you guys instead. So I need to work on a video. But I get to decide when I want that done because I answer to nobody, right? So that's a good thing. But if you answer to people, then you have obligations. Let's see. So remember what we're going to do. We're going to reduce stress, and we're going to prevent fatigue. In ergonomics, I don't know if you know what ergonomics is, but ergonomics is basically the study about our positioning. It's like right now, my ergonomics is really good sitting in this chair talking to you. I'm very, very comfortable. I can read the chat here. I got the book here. I got my drink here. I don't have to do a lot of bending and twisting to hurt myself. That's ergonomics. If you're doing piecework, if you got to keep reaching and stretching, that's bad ergonomics because it's hard on your body. So ergonomics, and this is the same thing in your chairs at home, on your YouTube studios, you need to find a comfortable spot that works for you. If you're always fidgeting or you're sore, because I got a chair and it makes me sore, it's not a good ergonomics for you. That's what I think about reducing your fatigue. Being able to breathe, take a deep breath when you're doing things. There are times that the example I gave a few minutes ago was if you're a checker, a cashier at Jollibee or McDonald's or wherever it may be, or Dollar General, I don't care, and you got a whole gigantic line of people trying to check out, and it's a stressful situation because they all want to check out now. They don't know why it's taken so long for that person to get his 12 items through the lane, right? We've all been there. If you're that person, that will reduce your stress in that moment. Stop, take a gigantic deep breath, let the air out, calm yourself a second, and then just continue. That's what I think you should do. So here's some tips to help you in your YouTube world, your business. Clear your desk of all papers except those related to immediate problems. Now I agree with this. And that's kind of where I'm at this weekend. My shredder's full, which is no excuse. I just need to get the trash bag and empty the shredder in it. And then I got a whole pile of stuff that needs to be shredded. I can get that off my desk. I should clear all of that off. I've just been lazy about getting a trash bag. So I got to get a trash bag. Maybe I'll get that done this weekend. We'll see if I get that far. But I need to do that. So I believe in clearing your desk off to only the projects that you're working on. There's no reason to have a bunch of stuff in your life. Now, you can use this as a metaphor for your life too. So in business, there's no reason to have a whole bunch of crap on your desk, literally, that you're not working on. Put it somewhere else. Doesn't need to be on your desk. Use that as a metaphor for your personal life. If it's not immediate in your personal life, put it somewhere else. You don't need to be stressing over things in your personal life that don't affect you immediately, that you're not working on. If you got a cousin who's running their mouth, but they don't pay your bills, they don't live with you, they don't do this, you don't have much interaction with them, look, they're not a problem for you to deal with. You need to move them to the side, put them over there, right? That's it. Put them over there. If you got channels or that you need to go to and videos you need to make, products you want to collaborate with Amazon or all, we do a lot of different stuff. And those are on this side. Those are what I got to work on. You got to prioritize that in your personal life and your business life. So move and look, and I'm really big. I talk about trolls on YouTube a lot about how to embrace them and to use them as your benefit. Don't just shit can them, use them to your benefit. But when you get hate from anybody, you need to move them off your desk. If somebody's coming to you in your personal life with hate and piss and vinegar and misery, why are you putting them on your desk, so to speak? Why would you give them time in your life? Don't do that. Remember, positive equals positive, negative equals negative. So you got a negative person coming in your life, and their goal is to try to make you negative. Now, if you want to spend the time to try to twist them and make them positive because you're positive, that's a good thing. But that's something that goes on your desk. Then you're saying, okay, you're a project that I'm going to work on. I'm going to take you, negative person, and I'm going to work on you, and I'm going to try to make things better. If the person comes in that's negative and you don't want to invest in that time, that energy, then you put them over here. You kick them off your desk. You don't let them have space on your virtual desk, right? You keep them away from you. Keep them at arm lengths. They're over here. You focus on the things that you need to work on, that you can work on, that you can make a difference. If you can't make a difference in it, you can pigeonhole it, set it aside. Do things in the order of their importance. I agree. It's kind of like paying your bills. Which bill comes first? Well, my water bill is on the first, my electric bill is on the fifth. Well, I got to pay the water bill first because if I don't pay the water bill on the first, I'm not going to have water on the fifth. You pay your bills in order, right? Do the task that's most important. If you get injured and you're bleeding, what's the most important thing to do? Stop the bleeding. Then work on the other things from there, right? Real simple. Uh, Priorities. And it's not hard to figure out which one is going to, one, you can look at it from, you can look at it like a timeline. You can also look at it as a weighted scenario, meaning which one is causing me the most stress? Which one's my biggest burden? Which one, is weighing on me? And this could be in your personal life. So which is weighing on me? Now, if it's too heavy and I can't fix it, right? If I can't solve it, maybe it's time to kick it off my desk. If I can't do it, then why is it on my desk? So you got to look at that as you're looking at your priority on completion of things. All right. So let's work on the problems we can solve. First and foremost, let's be organized in their importance. Which is most important? Well, I got to buy food. That's important. The kids got to go to school. That's important. Whatever it is. Yes. Here's one I really like, and I did all my life. And my boss back in the day didn't like this theory, and I'll get into this. It says that when you face a problem, solve it. So when you run into something, go ahead and solve it. Get the task done. Complete it. Then and there, right now, let's get it over with. Then, if you have all the facts necessary to make the decision. Now, so, what my boss didn't like was my boss was one of those people that like things to die on the vine. So there's a saying here that if you don't really want to do something, well, without saying no, you just kind of never get around to it. We call it, or I call it, dying on the vine. So maybe somebody comes up and says, I'd really like to, I don't know, go to Singapore with you. Why don't you and I go to Singapore? I don't want to go to Singapore with you. You're disgusting. Like, yeah, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. And you're like, well, yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Then you just never mention it again. You skirt around the topic. You don't embrace it. You don't call them up and say, yeah, I'm ready to talk about it. You let it die on the vine. That's what you do. My boss did that with everything. He wanted everything to die on the vine because then it was easier. And he could only pick and choose the ones that he wanted completed, even though there was a lot more intrigue in that. I have the mindset if I'm going to solve the problem, and then if I need to readjust my answer, I'm going to readjust my answer. So if a problem comes up, I'm going to try to immediately remedy it, like my leg. Cut my leg open, well, I'm going to stop the bleeding first because that's probably most important, right? With a tourniquet, whatever I got to do, I'm going to do that. And then if I messed up my leg even because I stopped the bleeding and I got a bigger and uglier scar, I'm going down some weird analogy here. Well, later on, I can have plastic surgery to fix the scar, but at least I stopped the bleeding. So I'm a big believer in solve the problem, stop it, get an answer, even if you got to modify your answer down the road, it's okay. If you realize the solution that you did to something did not bear fruit or did not hold water, the plug you put in the water jug didn't work so well, it still kept leaking, well, maybe you get a bigger plug, but it gave you time to find a better answer, is what it does. It gives you time to reassess and to figure out whether this patchwork to solve this problem is going to happen. Now, if you can solve it permanently and effectively, you should jump on it. But sometimes we have to solve problems on the fly and come up with a temporary short-term solution. I'm a gigantic believer that's okay. Learn to organize, deputize, and supervise. Delegation. It is very important to learn how to delegate what needs to go on around you. The biggest tip I can give you guys about delegation of work or product or anything is if you have a team, your family could be what I'm talking about, or it could be the team around you at work. What you have to do is you have to do an evaluation of what that individual's good at. So maybe Lucy is really good at washing dishes. She doesn't mind doing it. She's really good at it. Maybe Julie is really good at sweeping and mopping. She doesn't mind doing it, and she's really good at it. So why would you have Lucy do the mopping and sweeping versus Julie, right? So in order to be efficient, effective, and get things done, you play on people's strength. If you got somebody who's really good at public speaking and somebody who's fearful of public speaking, why would you throw them into public speaking, right? Patrick's in the house. Says, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good morning, Patrick. Say hello to our new friend over there in Hong Kong, Jocelyn. She's in the house. Great channel, big channel. So, Patrick, good to have you. So we got to find the strengths and weaknesses of people around us. And then we delegate the task. One, it will make them happy. So if Patrick is horrified about, and he's not, but if he's horrified by public speaking, how do you think he's going to feel? What type of job do you think he's going to do if I put him on a podium in front of 500 people? It's not going to work. But if you got me, who doesn't mind running their mouth and spoken to large crowds, and you tell me, hey, can you go do, oh, sure. So we keep each other happy. And when you're a happy worker, you're more productive. You're more efficient when you're doing things that you can embrace. Rick's in the, hey, Rick, how are you, buddy? Good morning to you, sir. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. You guys all check out our friend from Hong Kong up there. She's got a great big channel. You'll like her. You'll like her. Subscribe to each other. Rick channel. Pat has a channel. You guys all subscribe to each other. So delegation is important. You also have to figure out what type of supervisor you're going to be and what's going to be effective. There are times, and there's way different ways to supervise and to manage. And you got to understand what your individuals are, because everybody's different. Pat says, hello to you, Jocelyn. Good to see you. Hello, Patrick. So what are you? What is your worker? I mean, is your worker somebody who's a self-starter and who's a quick thinker and a learner? So they may not need a lot of supervision. Maybe they just need a little bit of direction. Here's our end goal. My end goal is to have, I don't know, my shirt washed. I don't know, stupid one. The end goal is to have a roasted chicken. So Patrick, go make me a roasted chicken. All right, great. Patrick knows how to cook. No problem. I can trust as a supervisor, if I tell Patrick to go cook me a roasted chicken, he's going to do it. If I take somebody who's never cooked a day in their life and I want them to cook a roasted chicken, I'm going to have to supervise them directly a whole lot more. So we have to realize that. And that's not a bad thing, because it's always great to be a teacher. A great leader is a teacher. A great supervisor is a teacher, not a dictator, not being authoritative, not being a bully, but a teacher. So you take the person that doesn't know how to make a chicken, you teach them how to make a chicken. Next time, you probably got to reinforce some things, but your supervision of that chicken the second time is going to be a whole lot less, right? just the way it is. Build on the strengths and weaknesses. Then you will figure out how much supervision you need to give any individual. Remember, the greatest supervisor in the world is a leader who teaches. Supervision, management, whatever you want to call it, being anything. I try to do that on my channel. On my channel, to the community, to the world, I try to be, I hate to use the word leader, but I try to be somebody who's a leader by example and a teacher as I go through. So, but Patrick, what are you guys doing this morning? Sorry, I'm going off the deep end today. We're talking about stuff. I'm talking about stuff. Either a train is going by or I think we're getting ready to get rain. Might be, I don't know, something noisy behind me. We're talking about how to enjoy your life and your job. So thank you all for being here. Give me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your world today. All right. What is the answer to nervous fatigue? Well, what is nervous? Relax, relax, relax. Learn to relax while you're doing at work. I do agree with how can you relax at work? Vin is in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. How do you relax? Have you guys ever been able to relax doing a job? I think when you are relaxed, you perform better. You're more efficient, more effective when you're relaxed. Okay. Now you'll probably have the reverse, habits of a lifetime, but it's worth the effort. May revolutionize your life. The American, let's see, bad habits. So becoming American overtension, jerkiness, breathlessness, intensity, and agony of expressions are bad habits. So you can drive yourself into bad habits by stressing over your work, by becoming unrelaxed, by becoming fatigued. So a lot of us know that stress leads to fatigue. It does. It wears you out when you become stressful. Happens to me. I got a bad heart. My bad heart, my bad legs hurt. I get stressed out walking, doing a lot of activities because all the pain that I am in causes stress. Stress then causes fatigue. I also have some PTSD from the coma that I was in. So being in a very chaotic situation, I do not like. I have to prepare myself for it. And being in those situations causes me great stress, which leads to the fatigue. So we got to learn how to recognize what's causing us stress, what's tensing us up, what's aggravating, what's taking our breath away. Like yesterday, I had to go do some errands yesterday and literally ran out of air. I had some problems yesterday doing simple tasks and was not happy with myself. And I had to sit in the truck for a while and calm myself before I could even drive off the parking lot. So we have to recognize those things. And if you are nervous, if you are anxious, one of the things to do is to breathe and to relax your muscles as much as you can. Roger says, sub to you. Moments, thank you. Moments with Keisha, thank you for doing that. Great channels are coming around. Some big channels. We got some big channels involved, Patrick, that you would like. Didn't you notice that after a few seconds of the muscles and the eyes begin to obey? Didn't you feel though as some hand had wiped away the tension? Yes. When we relax, the tension goes away. All right. And if you're, I like this visualization. I've never seen this one before. But there's a visualization you can do about a crinkled sock laying on the floor. So when you're in that moment, I want you to pictureize when you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, fatigued, tense. I want you to visualize a crumpled sock on the floor that needs. So, how do you get it uncrumpled? You relax, you stretch, you breathe, you relax. Your goal is to uncrinkle the sock that's on the floor. That's you. The sock is you. You're the sock when you're in that situation. So you got to straighten the socks back out. You got to relax the material of the sock. Relax when you get a chance in odd moments. Outside, Abby, Jane, Love, good to see you. Love, great channel you have. I do believe we visited your channel the other day. We definitely will check you out again. So thank you for being here. Would you like to be blue? Hello, subscribers for you. Lives in Texas. We're in Arkansas, so we're not very far. It's great to meet you. We have a nice community here in America of a lot of different people. You are from the Philippines. My wife is from Cebu, just so you know. She's from Cebu, Cebu City. And we do have land there, and we've lived there. So we live here in the States. Pat says hello to you. Pat has the channel. You guys, oh, let me turn you blue while I'm thinking of you. Because I've seen your channel. And I want you to be able to drop your link. I have a real simple rule on the channel that if you are blue, you can drop your link to anything you want without asking permission. You don't have to stop and say, hey, host, can I drop my link? You just go ahead and do it. I am 32 years old. I am 5 foot high, tall. Okay, great. My wife is about 5 foot tall too. Now, are you married in the United States? What are you doing? So Patrick knows your channel as well from GT Vlogs. We haven't seen GT in a while. We haven't seen her in a while. GTV Vlogs. I haven't seen her on the live stream, but yeah, she has a good channel too. And you're in Texas. Are you married? What are you doing in Texas, if I can ask? We're having a big meetup in October the 3rd in a place called Branson. Let me tell you all this. In Branson, Missouri, October the 3rd, there's a meetup of YouTubers related to the Philippines that's going to be meeting in Branson, Missouri on October the 3rd. It's a resort town, family town, so you can bring your whole families. They got caves and Silver Dollar City and theaters and food. So you can meet up, and we're all going to meet up on a Saturday at what they call the landing. And I can give you more information. Just message me or email me. So we are on Facebook. And if you guys want to know more about it, I'll tell you, we got people coming from all over the country. So everybody is welcome to meet us, not just meet me. It's not about meeting me. We're having a collective meeting of friends, like-minded people, supporters of the Philippine community, and YouTube in Branson, Missouri, October the 3rd. I am hearing disability, speech impairment. All right, that's okay. I am not sound ear right. No sound in the right ear. Got ear left listening sound. Okay, awesome, nice. That's okay. I understand. One thing I don't get hung up on, and I think Pat and everybody else can verify this, I'm not super hung up on correcting people all the time. I don't do that. I accept you. We on this channel, you're accepted. We don't care. Thank you for letting us know. So if you have questions, if we go too fast, if you miss something, you're not going to offend me by saying, host, can you clarify what you said? Sure, I'll do it. I don't mind. I understand. As a former college teacher, I did it all the time. My wife tells me I explain things too many times in a row. My wife does. She's like, I don't need to be explained the same thing 3 times, 3 different ways. But when you're teaching a class of, 25 students, sometimes you got to explain things in 3 different ways because there's so many different people and maybe they don't understand one thing. So Pat will probably contest along with Rick Lake, who's in the house, and others will probably attest to the fact that I over explain. But we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. We'd love to have your support. All of that good stuff, all that good stuff. We need it. We need it. I'm trying to raise enough money in my life to buy my poor Filipina wife a house. I'm not asking you for money. I'm asking YouTube for money. I'm not asking you. But my goal is to make enough money to buy my poor Filipina wife a house. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So we talked about the crumpled sock, right? And the moment where you're feeling all tense, think of yourself as a crumpled sock that needs to be relaxed. Now, how relaxed do you need to be? Well, this says to visualize. Have you ever seen a cat sunning, laying out in the sun, and you go to pick them up and they just kind of, you know, that's the visualization of where you want to be. You start off as the crumpled sock, and your goal is to become the cat. Rick is saying hello to you, Abby. Thank you for doing that, Rick. I appreciate that very, very much, man. I appreciate your support, Rick. I hope you guys all come to Branson. We're going to have a good time in Branson. I promise I won't even sing. I like that, though. Think about the cat. Relaxing in the sun is how we want to be. That's our visualization. Remember, if we find interest in things, we usually do not get tired. And that's where a good manager will help you figure out what you like doing, what you have an interest in, because you're more productive and the worker are relaxed. Escobar is back in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Big shout out to you. Thank you. Subscribe to everybody. Everybody subscribe to each other. That's great of you. Let's see. So yeah, like when we're on vacation, we're relaxed. Why are we relaxed? Because we're doing something we want, we like, we have an interest in. And I know sometimes in the workforce, we have to do things that we have no interest in doing. We just have to do it. It's the same thing in the family and our personal lives at our home. I hate doing dishes, but I got to do the dishes. So I am not interested in doing the dishes. I don't like doing the dishes. I am sorry. I am not going to be relaxed doing the damn dishes, but I'm going to try. Doing the laundry doesn't bother me too much. I'm not interested in it, but it doesn't bother me. I used to love to mow my yard. When I was healthy, I'm one of those Americans who love to mow their yard. I would cross mow it and checker patch it and cut everything to the right levels. Made it. I loved it. Great interest in making my yard look perfect. Had no troubles with it. Saturday mornings, get fired up. Woohoo! Let's go mow the yard. Very relaxing because I was interested in it. Now I can't do it because of my health. But the bad thing is now my lawn mowing guy came yesterday and he tore the shit out of my yard because the yard's really muddy and I didn't want him to mow, but he mowed because it's rained so much. And so now my yard looks like shit. But now I'm stressed because my yard looks like shit. Oh my God. So they talk about even when you're doing activities, like if you're a rock climber, if you're really interested in climbing rocks, it's a physically stressful thing, right? But you're not going to feel that because you have so much love, passion, and interest in it. Escobar, I am doing good, man. I am doing good. Just hanging out this morning, waiting for the wife to get up so I can cook her some breakfast. But other than that, I'm just hanging out, enjoying the cool weather out here. I don't know what temp is, 80, 85. It's breezy. Looks like it's going to rain. I'll show you if you guys want to look. There's the neighborhood. Let me unzoom that. So we kind of got cloudy weather. My dog Lily went inside. That's her bed, but she went inside. So we're just kind of ceiling fan going. We're just kind of hanging out, watching the birds. I got my bird feeders back over there. You probably can't see them. So one of the things I love to do in life is to sit outside. I don't care where I enjoyed. The best thing about the Philippines is sitting outside. Best thing about, America is when summer comes and you can sit outside. Let's see. Pat's going to the hospital this afternoon. Sorry, Pat, I missed that. Well, Pat, You're going to go to the you're going to go to the cancer center and find out. Write down what they tell you, Pat, and I'll do some research on it for you. Remember, so if you or get them to write it down for you, or an aftercare report, whatever it is, and we'll do some googling of what they're talking about if they're talking about anything, Pat. All right. Rick is dropping his link. You guys, please go to each other's links. You know, Rosalind has a great channel over in Hong Kong. She does a lot of lives. So you guys will like her channel very much. All you guys have great channels. You know, Abby, we're all going to support each other. That's what we do. It's what we do. Because without each other, we're nothing. Let's see. So even exhausting activities, if you're interested in, again, be very good for your mental health. So you definitely physically fatigued, and I believe physical fatigue is good. Now I don't think mental fatigue is good, but I'm a fat old guy, and I saw. Remember, I told you guys I'm doing a new video that comes out tonight. Premieres like 9 or something. It's going to be our new intro video, and I went through 13 years of photos, because we have a lot of photos of my wife and I, and all the travels we've been to, and all of that stuff. And I'm looking at it going, oh my God, I'm old now. I don't know what happened, but somehow in 13 years I've aged. I look so horrible. Holy shit and butt farts. So I'm like, man, I told my wife, I gotta go back to the gym. I gotta get off this lazy butt and go to Planet Fitness and start working out my upper body. I look like an old man now. Holy crap. I got gray hair instead of beautiful blonde hair. I mean, I've gone downhill. Physical fatigue is good for your body, though. I think physical fatigue is good for the mind, because it's good to be able to be exhausted and go, oh, my muscles are sore. That was so good. My bike has a flat tire. I ordered a new inner tube for my bike because my e-bike is flat. I need to get some riding in it, but I don't want to do much cardio. I'm not into cardio. But mental fatigue is a different story. And this happens in our family life and work, of course. But we get fatigued in our family dynamics and relationships. That's the worst thing. Because what happens in a relationship is there comes a point in time when you become, if a relationship is so fatiguing, at some point in time you give up. You say, it's not worth it anymore. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. This is too much mental fatigue on me. It's just not worth it. I'd rather be alone and have less mental fatigue in my family unit than I do. And maybe that's called quitting on a relationship, or maybe it's called self-preservation. I believe it is. And men do this differently than women. If you're married and you get to the point where your husband starts going quiet. Now, I'm a quiet person and I'm a private person and I like to be alone a lot. But if your husband is very chatty and active and involved, and over the years you see him starting to get more quiet and more introverted, well, there's a good chance that you're driving him into that he's tired of arguing with you. A woman can be the same way. Men are this way. Men go quiet, and we quietly leave a relationship, no matter what it is. Brothers, sisters. I got a relationship with a brother who was always, I don't got to put up with it. So I just left, quietly left. Didn't make a fuss, didn't argue. I just quit answering his calls and went about my business, right? That's what men do. Men drift away. Men want to be engaged. They want to be engaged positively. They want to be they want somebody who smiles. And that's why I recommend to all of my friends to date a Filipina, believe it or not, because 99% of the Filipinos, when you look at them, they smile. And I've told my friends, everybody that I've asked, that no matter who she is, where she's from, that when you first introduce and see her, or when you're together, right, out and about, the girl that smiles a lot that has a happy twinge to them, that's who you want to be with. I'm a very serious guy, as a lot of you know. Now, I joke a lot, but I'm a very dead serious guy, especially in my career. There's a lot of people that took great offense by how serious I am. And you should have seen me on the phone the other day with a contractor who screwed up my bathroom job. Not happy. And, I'm a very nice guy. I'm a very happy guy. I gave them a lot of room to hang their sows. They hung their sows, and then I cut their head off. So, but you want to be with the person who's lighthearted, who's not carrying such of a burden. I gave you guys an example of my friend who I worked with for years, who was just horrible to be around. She just wasn't pleasant to be around. Now she is, because she's learned to lift that burden. And now that she's a happy person, she's attracted people around her. She has a bigger circle of friends and family than ever before. You want to be the guy, you want to be with, if you're a guy, you want to be with a girl that smiles. Remember that. Ladies, remember that. Men are real simple. If you smile at us, that's half the battle. You know, if you engage, that's half the battle. It's not real complicated. So Pat's going to check in with me later about his visit to the doctor. All right, Pat, we'll keep up, buddy. We will. Let's see. And if you do have one of those days where you're mentally exhausted, understand that. And like I said earlier about the cashier, it's only a moment in time. Your worst day, now maybe it's 2 days at a worst, but your worst days will pass. So you have these mentally days, and my wife's been through it when I was in a coma. We've had all bad mental days, right? Our mental health goes down. We get so stressed, we get depressed. We're like, holy shit, how are we going to get out of this situation? How oh my God, I can't get anything done. I can't get the phone calls returned. I can't get the emails done. I can't get the kids fed. I can't. That's only a moment in time. So you got a brand new opportunity the very next day. The very next day that you wake up is a new day. It's a new day to start getting things done. Don't stress over yesterday. Don't hold on to all the things that you didn't get done yesterday, because those were yesterday's tasks. Now it's today's task. Feed the kids, pet the dog, answer the emails, pay a bill. That's what you're focused on today. Who cares if you had to do those and you didn't get those accomplished yesterday? Except for feeding the kids. The kids may get a little grouchy if you don't feed them for a day, unless you just tell them, hey, go find some food in the pantry and do it yourself. So restart, recess, and you'll start getting things done, and your stress level won't be there. You'll be able to get the mental fatigue out of your way. So here's a quick lesson we want you to learn. Our fatigue is often caused not by the work we're doing, but by the worry, frustration, and resentment. So understand that. The mental fatigue and physical fatigue, both, it doesn't necessarily come from the physical activities. It comes from the resentment that we build up, the frustration, and the worry. And I have that. I mean, when I was on the phone for, giving lectures about the bathroom and how that, blah blah blah. But man, I'm telling you, when I was done, I was stressed. I was fatigued. I was exhausted. Having to go back over 13 weeks of bullshit with a new person, even though I've done it 3 other times with other people at this damn company, Paul Davis Construction Company, fatigued me. So your fatigue is caused by worrying, frustration, and resentment. And resentment can be against your kids, your wife, your dog, your coworkers. Maybe your coworkers aren't stressed. Maybe they're not working hard, or you perceive them as not working hard, and you're working harder, so you build resentment. But you don't know. Maybe that person is just better at prioritizing. Maybe they're more efficient than you. And instead of getting bent out of shape and build resentment, what I encourage you to do is look at the other person who's not miserable in their job and find out why they're not miserable in the job. Tap is in the house. Good to see you, Tap. How are you? Tap 1328. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Tap, if you do me a favor, go and give a down the road here. Go check out everybody's YouTube channel. We got a lot of great new channels. We appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs up, my friend. So instead of being resentment of somebody who's happy, why don't we look at them and see why they're happy? Please subscribe. Yep. Everybody subscribe to his channel also. Nothing wrong with telling people you have a YouTube channel. What is your YouTube channel about? Can you summarize your YouTube channel? Tap 1328 for me. Patrick, are you still there? If maybe Patrick or Rick can go check out his channel. Maybe somebody in blue could go check out Tap 1328's channel for me. All right. There you go. The lucky folks are the ones that get to do things they enjoy doing. The ones that can brush things off and says, it'll be all right. You guys want to see my dog? Everybody likes to see the dog. Let me show you the dog. Oh, where'd my dog go? Oh, Pat, I was just asking if you wanted to go check out Tap 1328's channel for me. He's saying hello, and he has a YouTube channel. Oh, I can't go check his channel out, I don't think, right now. And but there's my dog, Lily. Look at that big old butt on that dog. Lily the dog. Tap 1328 saying hello. Tell us about your channel. So we're all about finding a way to reduce our stress. And I think success comes in the family unit and or at work when you learn to deal with the stress and the fatigue of your job. And remember, my theory is that we don't live to work, we work to live. Meaning we want a job that gives us money so that we can go snow skiing or buy wiener dogs or go fishing or go camping or go traveling, go to the Philippines and meet pretty girls. Whatever it may be, that's why you work. You work to pay your bills and to enjoy your life. You don't live to go to a job. Woohoo! Here's a question they're proposing. Would you take $1 million for what you have? Let's dig into this. Now, I don't know exactly what they mean because I'm one of these people. Oh, I see the question. It says, will you take $1 million for what you have? Well, exactly what do you mean I have? So I like to, okay, subbed, okay. Is it okay channel, Pat? Did you give it you okay with it, Pat? We're going to figure out how not to worry. We're going to banish all of our worries. All right, Pat, thank you. I'll turn them blue then so they can drop as their own link. That way he can drop his own link. Suddenly I saw coming down the street a man with no legs. He was sitting on a little wooden platform equipped with wheels and rollers, kind of like in trading places. He propelled himself along the street with a block of wood in each hand. I met him just after he crossed the street and was starting to lift himself up a few inches over the curb to the sidewalk. As he tilted his little wooden platform to an angle, his eyes met mine and greeted me with a grand smile. "Good morning, sir. It's a fine morning, isn't it?" he said with a great spirit. As I stood looking at him, I realized how rich he truly was. How rich I truly was. I had two legs and I could walk. I felt shame for feeling self pity of myself. I said to myself, if he could be happy, greet me with a smile in his wooden box that he propelled across the street with wooden sticks, cheerful and confident without the legs, with all that life has brought him, I certainly can do it with legs. I could barely feel my chest lifting. I had intended to ask the merchants in the miners' bank for only $100, but now I had the courage to ask for $200. I had an intent to say that I wanted to go to Kansas City to try to get a job, but now I announced confidently that I wanted to go to Kansas City to get a job. I got the loan and I got the job. I now have the following words pasted on my bathroom mirror, and I read them every morning. I had the blues because I had no shoes, until upon the street I met a man who had no feet. Great saying. I want you guys all to think about this. I had the blues because I had no shoes, until upon the street I met a man who had no feet. Wow, that's a deep, 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 deep saying. And what it means is life can always be worse. Look, we all struggle. I struggle every day. My health sucks. It could be worse. Could be better. Could be worse. Finances suck. Could be worse. Could be better, right? Everything could be better. I feel bad. And one thing I'll tell you is I do have a handicap plate on my car. And in the beginning, I hated using it. I didn't want one. Lorelai didn't make, told the doctor, I refused to ask the doctor to give me a slip or a handicap car tag. So Lorelai did it, and he said, "Oh yeah, sure, sure, sure." But I didn't like it, so we got the car with the handicap plates because I didn't like having one. Because yes, I'm handicapped, I have heart failure and some other issues going on, bad legs. But I always felt like there's somebody else worse off than me that would need that parking space over me. So why should I park in it? Because could I manage to get myself into Walmart at a different space? Yeah, it may not feel great. It may take me a little longer, but I could do it versus somebody who had no legs or arms or, yeah, I don't know, but, who are truly crippled. So I always felt that way. I always kind of felt like, I don't know, because I recognize that it could always be worse. I've been able to do that. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have self pity and think, oh, woe is me, because I do. I do. Trust me. I have a lot of self pity. But when we recognize, whether it's in a relationship, that it can always be worse. Right? Now, and then the question is, do you want to be the hero of your own story? So do you want to waddle in self pity, or do you want to say, yes, I have legs, so therefore I am going to accomplish. I can do it. So you have to be the hero of your own story. Weather's bad here this afternoon in Columbia, Santa Ana, Indiana. Yeah, you saw our weather. We're supposed to be in that fret too, maybe even tornadoes popping up randomly. So we're definitely there too, Pat. Right now, it's just kind of humid and overcast. Rained earlier, rained yesterday, and yesterday afternoon we had some storms blow by. Today we're waiting on storms. I like this one. I love sayings and quotes from people. I once asked Eddie Rickenbacker, I guess he was lost at sea. I don't know him. He was lost at sea. What was the biggest lesson he had learned from drifting about with his companions in a life raft for 21 days, hopelessly lost in the Pacific Ocean? The biggest lesson I learned from that experience, Eddie said, was that if you have all the fresh water you want to drink and all the food you want to eat, you ought to never complain about anything. Nice. Why don't we stop right now, ask ourselves, what in the hell are you worrying about? You will probably find that it's comparatively unimportant or insignificant compared to others and or in your own life. But let's stop and ask, what are we worried about? Well, you know, and I have worries and I have concerns. Rick says, going to be hot here next. Rumors are in the 90s. Yeah, that's pretty hot for you guys down in Texas, man. My brother is in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and he was telling me that they've had a really nice June, and he's in anticipation of a hot July, but they had a really nice June in his part of the country. So, do you have worries? Is my question. I have worries. I have concerns and worries. Do you? Now, are they unimportant? Are they insignificant comparatively? Oh, you live in Minnesota. I thought you were in South Texas. Sorry, Rick. You're right. You're a Minnesota boy. Man, we have so many people. Man, okay. Here's how I'm gonna remember that you're in Minnesota, Rick. I got it, man. Here's how I'm gonna remember this. So, lakes, Minnesota, lakes, because in my brain, even though I have squishy brain syndrome from my coma, I still have the ability to do word association. And to learn things all my life, I've done word association. So your lakes, Minnesota is full of lakes. I'm going to remember you're in Minnesota now, buddy, because Minnesota's full of lakes and you have lakes in your name. Pat is sub to you. Thank you for doing that, Pat. Now, but the question is, if we do have a concern or a worry, is it unimportant or insignificant? Is it or isn't it? I think that's the point of view. And I don't know if I can get on board of going, well, we shouldn't just care about our worries. We should just go, you know, I don't know about that because my worries are part of a goal that I want to accomplish. Now, so one school of thought is you should make goals and you should accomplish goals. Now, if you got a big goal, you got to break it down into small goals and make it like a ladder, stair stepping, right? But a goal is also a worry or a concern. So what am I worrying about? I'm worrying about getting my wife a house. Is that insignificant? No, because that's for her future. So I don't know if I agree with this, but I understand what they're saying in principle. In principle is, look, if you're stressing, what are you stressing over? And is it really worth stressing over? And that's what he's saying. Right now, about 90% of our things in our lives are good, right? I can say this 100%. 90% of my life is great. No problems, no qualms. 10% is what's wrong, or what we worry about, what we stress about. If we want to be happy, we all have to, let's see what he says. See if I agree with this. Is to concentrate on the good, not the worry. Concentrate on the 90% that are right and ignore the 10% that are wrong. Okay, now I don't think my plan to buy my wife a house is wrong. Rick says, thank you, Pat. So I'm not going to put that in the wrong category. But I think what they kind of mean is there's things that you cannot do anything about. If you got a cousin in the family who's just a mean, nasty, ugly person and they always want to fight with you, don't worry about them. Like I said earlier, you kick them off of your desk, right? The hateful people, the trolls, the people that are attacking, who cares? You kick them off your desk. You don't worry about them. You don't give them, and this is kind of where I come into this about this part of the philosophy is don't give them space in your brain or your heart. Don't do it. If it's negative, remember negative equals positive, negative equals negative, positive equals positive. When that negativity comes in, if you take it into your heart, it's going to spread. It's going to cause more negativity. Same thing in the brain. One negative thought leads to more negative thoughts. One positive thought leads to more. So let's look at it that way. We're going to get rid of the trolls. We're not going to take it to heart what they say. And Pat and everybody on here, all you wonderful people watching and listening, thank you all for the thumbs up. You guys know I don't really give a crap what anybody says on my YouTube channel. David doesn't care. 100%. You know why I don't care? Because you don't pay my bills. You don't sleep in my bed next to me. Other than that, I could care less. You have no factor on me in a negative way. I'm not going to allow anybody on the internet to negatively impact me. Just not going to do it. I'm not going to give you the time of the day. I'm not going to give you space in my head, so to speak. It goes on and think, we tried many Cornwall. Huh. And this is a good point. Sometimes you have to tremble on the edge of your tragedies or your stress, your negative, before you can realize what it is. Sometimes you go down a negative road. That negative gets a hold of you and takes you down a nasty road. Sometimes that's how we find the light at the end of the tunnel. That's just the way it is. So sometimes you got to come to the edge and go, oh my God, look where this has brought me. This has brought me to the edge. I either leap off and I'm done, or I take charge, I get off this ledge, and I make things happen. I improve. Because you got to be your own hero. Remember this. You have to be the hero of your own life, period. You can't help anybody. You can't be the hero for anybody if you're not your own hero, period. It's that old adage about when you fly in an airplane and they say, in case of an emergency, the air mask drops. But first, put yours on before you help your neighbor, right? You got to be your own hero. And sometimes we got to go to hell and back before we find peace and harmony and we learn to take that negativity and kick it off of our desk. Not gonna do it, not gonna do it, not gonna do it. It goes over here into the trash pile. Little Johnny, maybe it's Big John, I don't know, whoever the hell it is trying to cause me grief. Well, I didn't give him space. He's not on the desk. Sorry, you're not on my to-do list. You are in charge of your to-do list, work-wise, life-wise. You are in charge of your to-do list. You get to decide for the most part what you got to do. Now, if you're in a work environment, yes, you got obligations to meet, right? Personal life, you are. There are outside factors to consider, but yes. Let's see here. Let's see. So our lesson out of this, the habit of looking on the best side of every event, trying to find the positive, making lemonade out of lemons will bear fruit, is worth more than money itself. finding the good out of the bad is what we have to look for. We have a bad worker. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I really believe this. We don't know what we don't know. We're going to have people in our lives that we run into that are negative. If you take a step back, there are something in there, in that person, that is a positive thing. You just have to look for it. Now, that doesn't mean that you got to put them on your desk and try to convert them into positivity unless you want to. But I promise every situation, once you reevaluate it, there's some positivity. It's like the nightmare with my bathroom. I learned a lot. I'm taking the positive side out of it now that it's over and I got done screaming my head off. So now I'm looking at the positive side of it. And there is a positive side to it. We just got to find it. Everybody has that. Now, what's really interesting to me from a philosophical standpoint, we don't know. We all think, humans, we all think that when we go into a relationship or a friendship or dating, we go in there that we think we're giving them something. What we're bringing to the table is us, right? It's us. Hey, we are um, providing you with us. Again, there's a word I lost, but we are ingratiating you with us. So it's a great benefit for you for us to be here. And maybe it is a benefit to them. But most of us doesn't stop to realize that there's going to be a benefit from them being in our life. And they may be in our life for one day or 20 years. We don't know. But often we also get frustrated because we feel like we're helping, right? Now, when that gets tiring, that gets frustrating. Help others or helping somebody. But maybe that's why your job is in this role for this person. So what you've done to help this person may bear fruit down the road where they go and in turn and help somebody else. We don't know that. Now, we don't know if there was down the road another effect by us helping that person. So maybe, theoretically, maybe if we're busy doing something, well, I wasn't over here doing something else, that would have been negative, right? That would have hurt me. That would have cost me more money and time. So maybe helping Pat out, cooking the chicken, kept me from helping Lucy mopping the floor, whatever, and I would have fallen down and broke my leg. I don't know. See what I mean? We don't know the interactions, the long-term actions, the small, the big, the ramifications of why we do anything. The butterfly effect, so to speak, the ripple effect. We don't know what it is. We don't. Why am I stuck in Arkansas when I don't want to be? I don't know. Maybe somebody's benefiting from it. Maybe we're benefiting from it. Maybe I'm benefiting somebody else by being here. It's kind of like workers. I had a lot of international workers come in and do the work. Well, maybe they weren't so good at it, right? So they weren't that beneficial to me. But I benefited them, I hope, by talking with them, teaching with them, mentoring them. So it's not all about me. That's what we have to understand. Life isn't all about me. And to find true happiness in life, you have to understand who you are, what you are, accept you for who you are, and understand life isn't all about you. It's not, even though we think it is. We like it to be. But life isn't all about us individually. It's not. There's something else going on in the interactions. It's like my lawn mowing guy. Well, he mowed in the rain, the wet grass, and my yard looks like shit. Well, I'm not happy with it, but maybe that $60 that I paid him to mow my yard kept his electric bill on. That electric bill stayed on, which kept their refrigerator on, so they had food to feed their children. I don't know, but we don't know. We don't know. That's what I want you guys to understand. All right, my friends, it's 11:30 here. I think we're going to stop for now. I hope you don't mind the live stream I've been doing today. Kind of different, but, you know. So Rick, Pat, everybody in the background, appreciate you guys still being here. All the new people, thank you for subscribing to each other. Got a lot of great new channels coming around, Pat. Really, you'll like some of them. A lot of good channels, a lot of girl channels, but they're not nasty girl channels. So, um, like Jocelyn in Hong Kong, it's a great channel, not a nasty girl channel. So, thank you for being here, everybody. We appreciate you guys. And we're going to be back tonight. I'm going to do a live stream tonight about 7-ish. So you guys watch out for that. Rick, we appreciate you up in the land of lakes, Minnesota. See, now, I got you, buddy. Pat, let me know later today what you find out at the cancer center. And everybody take care. I'm going to go make some waffles and eggs for my wife. Take care, guys.